that the new Patriotic Party forms our government, we here at the couch and by extension for African TV are very interested in developments. This evening we have been very, very privileged to have been joined by one of the top contenders for the position of the vice chairpersons, in the person of Mr. Michael Omari Wadie. He has been gracious enough to spare some time of his obviously very, busy schedule at this point to throw some light on the contest, on his interest, on the way forward for the NPP. Sir, you're welcome to the couch.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's an honor to have you here.
I feel good to be with you too.
It's your first time?
The first time.
Yeah, on the couch. We hope that this will be one of many times you'll be on the couch.
Anytime you call, I'll be available.
I'm very happy to hear it.
As long as it's you, I will be here.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. The NPP today, I just want us to look at that briefly before we get into the contest proper. Today, the NPP, I dare say, and please, at any point, feel free to correct me if you think I'm wrong. I think I'm right, though. I think that generally, the Ghanaian is not happy with the NPP presently.
You may be right in saying that. And it is not just the Ghanaian who is not happy with its government. Every government around the whole world is having the same challenges. I was watching one of the Asian countries where, I don't know if you watched that one, where they've moved to the president's house and they were sleeping and swimming in. Obviously, they were not happy. If you have been monitoring radio and TV across the world, UK, US, Germany, just talk about, even the advanced nations, nobody is happy with their government. Why? Because of this terror called COVID-19, and then coupled with the pressures of the Russian Ukraine. Everybody is under water. Everybody is suffering. Everybody has a complaint or the other. So it's not only in Ghana here. So I'm not surprised that you are saying this. But thank God we have leaders who understand the Ghanaian and understand our system and know what to do to make sure things are softened and cushioned. It may not take a day, but definitely, as the president himself acknowledged and said during the beginning of the COVID, that he knows how to bring the economy back. And he knew we're going to get here. That's why he made those forecasts and predictions. But what he cannot do is raising you if you die.
People from the dead.
And fortunately, you are listening and watching and hearing me because you are alive.
Right.
The money that was spent for a good cause. So you will be alive today and see today. But what is left is for us to understand and appreciate what people have done, what God has done for us, where we are, and we will work together to get ourselves out of the woods where we find ourselves today. It cannot be done by one man. You have to contribute. I have to play my part. Unfortunately, some people think by striking, going on demonstration, or going to lie on the president's bed and swimming pool will save them. But I know that that is never, will never, and can never be a solution. I've made one prediction. The people swimming in those pools, watch them. The next 5, 6, 10 months, they will be striking on whoever is there again. Because do you believe by going to swim in the president pool, sacking the president, will reduce prices of fuel? Do you believe that? Do you believe?
No.
Yes. If you are international minded, if you know what is up, you know that removing a president today will can never drop prices. If you know what is up. Nobody, if anybody can predict or telling you he can come tomorrow and change prices of fuel, that person is just taking you to be, excuse my language, a fool.
Right. And I appreciate that. I appreciate what you mean about, the economic order today and how things are not, generally going well for everybody everywhere. I appreciate that. But we have very peculiar circumstances in Ghana, though, don't we? We have very yesterday, let me give practical examples. Yesterday, I was joined by 3 leaders of the Labour Front. And if you hear them out, I mean, some of the arguments they make are very accommodating of the situation. So, for instance, they are looking at, inflation. This is how they came by their 20% for cola, and it's beyond 27%. However, they are not asking for the full inflation rate, which is what they are having to, or let me correct myself, which is what all of us are having to pay as Ghanaians. They are pegging it at 20, very accommodating of governments, understanding that all of us need to work to make things happen. Now, if the Labour Front is making this demand, and the Labour Front meets with government, and you have, as part of, and this is what happened yesterday at the negotiation table, governments coming in with a list of people they will sit with and things like that, then, for me, that just speaks to not managing a bad situation well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because another approach, perhaps, would have salvaged that situation yesterday. And yesterday, all of this labor unrest and all of these strikes and all of these things would have been contained at the 4th meeting that they were having with the labor leaders. So you go to a meeting like this, you come in and say, I'll meet with this organization, I'll meet with this, I'll meet, because legally, I can't negotiate with you when you're on strike. That's bad tactics. Forgive me for being so blunt. So immediately, it's a bad situation, yes, but I feel that government is not handling it well.
Well, it depends on where you sit and how you appreciate leadership and governance. Sometimes people want you to break the law to satisfy them. And I don't believe that is what you are suggesting, knowing you. The last time I remember growing up, my dad was a wealthy businessman until the June 4th uprising, when all his stock were seized, depleted and he came to ground zero. I remember he used to drop us at school when we were kids. And when things and times changed, we had to start walking to school. I remember we started complaining, and he told us, I was trying to do something, but this is where we find ourselves. Let's manage it. We'll get out of the woods. Fortunately, somewhere along the line, he managed to regain and started moving. Things changed. And when things change, the natural thing for you and I to do, for every human being to do, is adjust, manage. You and I know that we are not out of the woods yet. Even the president and his appointees are all slashing theirs by 30.
The president is still flying the
When was the last time you saw
jets.
him? When was the last time you saw him flying? He flies these days with a commercial jet. That's what he does. For the past 3-4 months now. No, 6 months now. Is it 4 or 6? He's been flying.
I didn't say 4 or 3 because I heard the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa very recently. Because he flew commercial and we all praised him for it. And then he went back 1B to do the luxury one. Because I remember, that issue coming up again.
You see, it is not about luxury. He can choose to even drive to wherever he's going. But you and I look at the cost of he driving from Accra to Burkina Faso or Togo or Lagos. He can do it. He likes driving around, being driven around, or he himself driving. But if you want your nation, believe that that is what will make your nation or your country grow, by the president driving 8, 10, 20 hours to where he has to go, instead of sitting in the office working, looking, reviewing documents, receiving people and questioning people and making sure things are done. We cannot decide and agree. I am a businessman. I run my own business. And people come to me, they're working with me, and they expect that the car I drive, they should be driving same. And I ask them, can you afford to buy fuel, pay your salary, and take care of your rent and all that comes with it, plus your wife or girlfriend, with your salary?
Maintenance as well.
And maintenance. I have gone through this. And then also, being the leader, I believe you hold a position here. Your responsibilities sometimes requires that you live sometimes alone and be sitting. And they come see you. People will come and see you sitting there. They think you are doing nothing. But what is going on up here? I mean, I believe you're a leader somewhere. I saw some leadership citations. And I mean, that is, people think leaders enjoy, but the stress leaders go through. When I first joined politics, I had all black. Look at me now.
It looks good on you, sir.
Well, but that's the way it came from. It's the stress.
Right.
But people think we don't do anything. It's the same thing. The president is enjoying flying. I don't know how you love flying, but I don't like it. And sometimes when you are traveling, hey, you are enjoying, I say, hey, flying.
But he is flying on a luxurious private jet.
Do you have any jet that is not luxury, that doesn't have luxury?
So what are we doing
apart from the Akasa, the military, I don't know if you have flown in that one before.
No, I haven't.
One day, I'll ask that you beg them and sit in that, and then when you arrive, if you see an aircraft, you just be thinking people don't know. I mean, the noise, the shakes, and I don't believe you want, if you were the president or the first lady to be flying that jet all the time.
So let's just fly commercial.
He flies commercial.
He can fly first class.
He flies commercial. I mean, he flies commercial. He does. But somebody has made it a business to, even if there's an emergency and he's sitting in an ambulance, the president is enjoying. That is what I'm saying.
Surely you know you're oversimplifying this issue.
No, that is the truth.
You know that you're oversimplifying.
That is the truth. But sometimes it's cheaper. I mean, the president going to Ethiopia has an airline. Say he's going to Djibouti. Do you have a direct flight from here? The president will have to fly to London, move to Ethiopia, and then hop to. And that would take about 24 hours. Meanwhile, that 24 hours of the president time can make you and I richer. Can make the nation. Do you know the price or the cost of the president time? I mean, your time has a value. Everybody in this room's time has a value. But the values change depending on your level.
Right.
And the president's time has, the value on the president time has, that's why advanced nations, what do they use? What do they call that? Air Force One.
Right.
The most expensive aircraft in the world. Why do you think they buy that for their president? They know the value of the time of the president. No. America is suffering. You know how much America owes now? Do you know how Americans is? They are debt. But they buy for them. Go to Abidjan, even Abidjan. Do you know how many presidential jets they have and the sizes? But we think the presidents will be enjoying by flying a bigger aircraft. And we want to buy. In fact, President Kufuor, who ordered the current presidential jet, ordered for 2. I think it was 3 or 2. 3. Plus the CASA and all that. And people made a lot of noise. This one was for just short trips. The bigger one, the larger one that could withstand turbulence. When somebody came, he cancelled it. And because of attempting to live or stay, I suggest to people that I am...
Modesty?
Is it modesty?
Cutting your quotes according to your size.
I hear initially when he came, he said he wouldn't use a convoy, and he was driving in a 3 or 4 man convoy, and one day something happened. Since then, he changed his mind. I don't know if you heard about that one, on the Sprinters Road, Professor Mills. You didn't hear about that? No. Oh. Mr. Pratt will tell you why he changed from 2 convoy to
a lot more. I mean, his security, right?
I'm guessing it has to do
with his security.
You see, you can decide to do what you want to do. You can decide to say what you want to say, but when the reality hits, last time, I said, less than a week ago, I heard the president of Nigeria's convoy was also attacked.
Right.
Can you imagine?
By Boko Haram.
Yes. So, and do you know why? Is it Rwanda? The people who killed themselves, they killed because the president died. Over 2 million people died afterwards. And most of the people who died were the people who were calling for the head of the president. Can you imagine? Sometimes it's good to let him be. There are people who when they see the president convoy, they will also be attempting to cross, insulting the person. You cannot be. Why do you also want? Why we are all Ghanaians? I say, hey, you don't know. Sometimes you attempt to block. Maybe at that point, at that time, people were targeting, and you'll be the first to be hit.
Right. Right.
I don't know if even ambulances in Ghana here, people hear sirens, and instead of them to go or they will be speeding in front of the ambulance.
Right. Right.
But
lawlessness, indiscipline. Yeah.
You see, modesty, I have seen it all. Well, I've read some, but if you go to Togo, we are better than them. Abidjan, if the president is coming to use this road by, say, 10, 12 a.m., 11 a.m., 6 a.m., nobody can pass on that road. I know you know about that. But can you imagine that happening in Ghana? Do you know why they do that?
Why?
They've had several threats on the president. Initially, they were behaving like us. And when people started hitting people, you remember President Kufuor, he was doing the same. He attempted to live a modest life, and then somebody attempted to finish him on the, where is that? Apaibia Junction, Airport Junction there. You remember that one? Or you've not heard about that? That President Kufuor's convoy was attacked? And he got himself in an accident?
Wow.
Somebody just drove from the aviation road, timed the president, and the convoy, everybody has stopped, and he moved through. Made sure he hit the president's vehicle, and it overturned. And he was, you see how he's walking now in the wheelchair? Right. It is because of the pain, the injury he received in that accident. That tall, handsome gentleman, look at what they did to him. So sometimes when people talk, you may not know the motive. They prick on your emotions. I remember, yes, when was it? Last we were talking about Ghana going IMF and the people. So
I was going to come there.
Somebody said, so if Ghana is owing, ask somebody come to ask you to pay. You are here shouting, and you are nobody chasing you, even though you are a citizen. Let the people, they handle their thing. Focus on what you are doing, your business. Make sure your children are happy.
But it has direct consequences on everything. For instance, the last time we went to IMF, the conditionalities. Workers were asked to be made redundant.
So what are they
asking
us to do? So you will do
your... We don't know yet.
Yeah, so why do you complain?
Because we've seen it before. We've seen it 18 times before. And in all of those 18 times, it didn't help us. So
what do you suggest?
I mean, that's why,
there are three ways.
You are in government, sir.
There are three ways that government makes money. Basically, grants. That one, some countries, like they gave us some to do the Accra, Cape Coast, the Tetequashi, of Malam, grants. And then loans. Then taxes and levies. These are the main three areas that government raises or generates money. To pay salaries, to do your road, to do your street light, to do everything that you expect government to do. Gets it from these three sources. Now, you and I, we owe close to about 75% of what we raise. And every money that comes today, even as at last month, the revenue we got after paying our workers' salaries and then paying what do you call that? Debt, when you owe somebody and you pay, what do you call that one? Interest.
Okay.
We were owing about 10% more of what we raised. We couldn't, the money that came in, and after making all the payments, we were owing. And if we continue this way, it means in the next 2-3 months, 2 years, our debt will double. That's why government is looking for a way to halt the debt burden on us. And you know what is interesting and funny? Let me tell you. This bank restructuring that they did, the merging of banks and then this bank, you know how much government of Ghana spent?
How much?
About 25 billion to make sure those whose deposits were there, they saved them. Government had to pay all that, about 25 billion. Do you know how much we're going to look for? 4 billion.
But isn't that a clear case of, forgive me, sir, mismanagement? Of our national resources?
Yes, depending on who you are talking to. If you had 1 million Ghana, if you had 10,000 savings in UT or somewhere, and the bank had collapsed, and you didn't know how you were going to raise that money, you will not call that mismanagement. You will say, God, thank God for this government, they have come to save us.
But you see,
but
sir,
if you were not
affected,
that's when you say it's mismanagement.
Right. So depending on where you stand. But then the argument is made that we didn't even have to get there.
But we met it. The people who were there before we came saw to it that at the point, people will go to bank, you have money in your bank, you present a check, they tell you come 2-3 days. You did not go through. Fortunately, your bank was, you had a good bank. That's why you are comfortably debating and arguing this way. But if your school fees, if you have locked up all your life savings, investment in a bank, and you go and they say you cannot even take a penny from there.
But the owners of these banks are accusing your government of sabotaging.
Sabotaging.
Yes, sir, you heard this. Surely you heard this.
The former administration bailed them out. And you know what they did? They said, people, we know that you have deposits with these banks. They are underwater. We are giving them this money so they can pay you. They took the money, they didn't pay their customers. They took the money and went to make their own investment, the owners of the banks.
But sir, you've heard some of these accusations, haven't you?
That's what I'm telling you.
And then we can make them offers that they wanted to buy their banks, they didn't allow, so didn't they sabotage? You've heard all of these arguments, haven't you, sir?
But it's not true. It is not true. There's something called propaganda, and there's fact and fiction. You know the difference between them? Yes. We gave you the option. Your bank is another. Water. Merge. This one says, I want to be the MD. I am the MD of my bank. I cannot agree to be one person. But in business, there's something I call, it's better to be a 1% owner of a $1 billion company than to be a 100% owner of a 10,000 Ghana cedi company. I don't know if you understand me.
Yes, I do.
If you are the owner of a 10,000 Ghana cedi kiosk or well, yes, you are enjoying. Nobody dictates. But if you are even 0.5% owner of a 10 billion, you are wealthy.
Right.
Merge. They won't merge. Look for investors. People's investments were also locked up with you. You say you have used the money. Well, they are still tracing and tracking their assets. And I know you know it. But it's mind-boggling. I mean, you cannot understand why people would think that a responsible government should have given the money again, recapitalize these banks, or giving these monies to these people so they would just siphon and not even pay the people they owe, their customers.
Right. Okay. So
I mean, I don't know whether you.
I completely understand. You know, the way you've taken me through. You know, from your it's another perspective.
We set our daughter up business. He's giving money. Later you go into the books and the money is gone. He has nothing in there. Then you recapitalize the business, and then few months, a year after, you go there, the money is gone under. Will you go and put more money?
No, I won't.
You will just tell the person, hey, collapse the business, come home. This money, I can pay you even if you are not working. So you eat and drink and sleep. That one you can have, just enjoy, just chill. But to give you the money and you can't take care of it, and then you can't even keep the business, and then when we come, you can't account for, why should I still give you that money?
Right.
And that's what happened.
Right.
Every responsible parent will never do that.
I understand that, sir. But then let's talk about, for me, the biggest elephant in the room when it comes to this administration and, again, mismanagement, the cathedral, sir. Actually, before that, I want to play this short video, somebody's opinion, and then we'll come back and you speak to the video. Stay with us.
Now, one of friend incompetent in the buyer. What was the kind of catches $100 million? Je will answer then I got 200 cathedral, I got $200 million. Je will answer $250 million. Says yeah, and I'm $300 million. I saw the in Swa, one question in Gudemu. Accra, Webu passport office. Webu a judges a 49. Ebu state property, a creative space. I say receive $300 million. And yes, I saw Diane. With all due respect, I've been with from $300 million. Who ya who call IMF a Bobusia? There was IMF for the crowd, and that Dagana from paying for no more, no more show two tables, no more bomb which he can't near St. John.
Jesus Christ.
So when you're $300 million, and you see, I saw that Jenny and Mobusia. Now, IMF and the US for which you Kurumono, I almost see cathedral, Omanyes can be Bobusia. Abrawo gold, Abrawo timber, Abrawo bauxite, Abrawo say, who watch the one man, Yang, sitting in Mufuano. Yes, Kakra, Yasha, your pest, and will phone so no. Oh, by G, tax, ye did the house still obey. What's your year, we see cathedral? It's all your software, no one for one Jimua, one Yano Quaffle.
Welcome back from there. So, sir, Chairman, please react to this video.
I don't know what you want me to say, whether to tell him my side of what he was saying, or just listen to him, and I don't know what you want me to say, but that is his thoughts, and it is not also factual, what he was even saying. The facts are not available to him, so if I find him, I may give him all the facts so he can correct his what he was saying. Well, it is true that Muhammad decided to borrow money and build Saglebe. And it is also true that Muhammad borrowed money and built the Kwame Nkrumah, what do you call that? The one, the statues there at the Dubai, Kwame Nkrumah Dubai. How do they call that?
Oh, Circle.
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 And apart from the interchange, there's something down there. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yes.
Where the statues is and the lights are.
Yes.
And do you know how much that thing cost us?
How much?
Find out.
But so, I'm an Nkrumah, so I love it. I think it's important.
But you've seen something there. You've seen that structure I'm talking about by the Circle interchange. They added something apart from the road you see.
Right.
There's something that,
I mean, Circle is beautiful now.
Yes,
so.
I'm talking, but yes, that's what I'm saying. It's beautiful. Yes, it serves the purpose when you are traveling. But there is one portion that somebody built something to suggest that that is where Nkrumah, that is representing Nkrumah. I don't know how they call that place. When you're coming from Accra, and you are turning towards Bast Osu,
right.
The right side there, you check what is there and find out why somebody did that thing there. So it depends on where you stand. and what your targets, who you are targeting. And that will determine how you speak. And sometimes you just attempt to ignore the facts and use fictions. So, you said, what's his name again? Dan Moshe or whatever. Yes, let him go ahead and do those.
But you haven't spoken to any of the issues that have been raised. I mean, affordable
he said he doesn't
housing.
like the church, so what can I do?
Affordable housing is
he
a great
doesn't like the
thing.
mosque. What do I do?
We have a housing deficit in Ghana, don't we? So if somebody's building a affordable
the structure,
housing,
that's what I'm saying. The structure there can build about not less than 2 school blocks, but it's there.
But can we ever compare that to the cathedral, sir?
It depends on where you are standing. What the cathedral? Who's there? I've contributed. Have you contributed? No, because you don't like the cathedral. We who want
right
to
now, I don't think that it's important. I don't think that it should be a priority for a country that's going to IMF.
There's somebody who's watching you and say, "What do you do? Where this week? Is it important? We want to see you natural." But
Oh, I do natural.
I'm saying that right now somebody is watching you and asking why do women cry worry themselves with this thing? Why don't you just do natural and be going? It is you. So what is good for you may not be good for me, and what is good for what I think is right.
Ghanaian.
What I think, yes, I am Ghanaian too.
I'm Ghanaian.
I know I'm Ghanaian too, and I am
IMF.
contributing. I am okay. So you think we shouldn't go to IMF? We should ask the Ghanaians, everybody who has money, just borrow us money or give us money to support, so we don't go IMF. You think
look at the amount of
contributing?
money we are spending on the cathedral for a country that's so broke. Say, honestly, say you're a businessman.
The country is not spending that money. It is individual citizens who are supporting, whose faith, who think that cathedral should come up, who are contributing. I say, I have. If you haven't contributed, just do, and we'll build up the building. So
we are raising all of that money for the cathedral.
So you think we should have raised that money to build what?
But doesn't that go to the thinking of governments as to what's priority at any particular time? If governments are spending so much effort into raising money for this,
the cathedral is being built for and by people who believe in it. If you don't believe it, that is not your priority. But if you
that's my government's priority, and I'm worried about that, sir.
But the government has given the opportunity for churches to contribute and build. And the churches are not complaining. You are sitting out there.
The churches are complaining.
The churches those who are contributing.
Pastors say that.
Some churches, it's not every pastor who believes in owning a church building. There are pastors who think they should rent. And there are others who think they should build their own structures and stay in. It is not every church. Are you suggesting that every church has a church building? No. Some people rent the spaces.
So you honestly, genuinely think that the cathedral at this time, where we have, let's even agree, which is a fact.
You don't like the cathedral because it's God's property, or you don't like the cathedral because it's being built for Christians, or you don't like the cathedral because times are hard for Ghana.
I don't like the cathedral because we can't afford it.
Have anybody asked you to pay?
No, we just can't afford it.
You have not been asked to pay. I am contributing. I'm not complaining. You are not contributing. You are complaining that you cannot afford.
I'll give a practical example. It's like when I went to the Sempe cluster of schools at Mamprobi, and I did a series on that. And the classroom blocks did not have roofs. Did not have windows. It's terrible. I serialized it. I was going there all the time, doing a whole series. And these are government schools. And then just by the government schools, somebody was gifting them an AstroTurf. And I was so upset by it. That you are looking at a school that doesn't have a roof. The children can't sit and study when it's raining. They can't sit and study when the sun is shining. It's just a death trap that these children sit and study in. So if you want to give them something, would you not just do the roof of the school? Or even the pillars, because the pillars were holding the schools are all gone. In one place, I'll show you the pictures. The pillar was so, I don't even have the English word for it, that I could literally push the pillar and that structure would come crumbling down. So for anybody to go to a place like that, see that reality and decide to gift them an AstroTurf, I was just blown away by how unnecessary that gift
when
is.
I came from where I come from and started working in Accra, I was always wondering why people ride in a taxi to work when they can board trotro. Then it got to a time I could afford, when they can even walk. I mean, we're staying in the Raka, sometimes you see people boarding trotro to Akanshi. I wondered, this is just this time, why are you boarding? Before long, I started boarding a trotro too. And then I started wondering why people would take dropping from Raka to Akanshi. Why do you waste this money like that? And then later, when I started, then my appetite for... then I started boarding taxis. Sometimes the taxi is passing and we don't have taxi and then dropping. Then before long, I realized I was dropping from Anaraka to Akanshi. Then when I was sitting there, I remember, so why? Oh, so if you don't have, that is when you look at it, things like that. Oh, okay.
Poverty mentality, yeah.
It's there. That one, I'll come there. That one, I'll come there. The last time I have this friend who was having a program like this. He drives a V8. And then he was, why people are standing, I was driving with him. And then we don't create buses for them. We can even give them buses. And I say, okay, this is your car. You know how much it is? You know how many trotros this car can buy? If you had not chosen to buy V8 and you had chosen to buy trotro, you could have had 10 or 15 of buses picking people by the roadside.
Isn't that why we have a government, sir?
You see, that is why government...
Isn't that why I pay taxes? Government
gives the opportunity to people. He says, this church, if you want to build, contribute. They are happily contributing and putting up their structure. You who are not contributing, go and stand there and you are complaining. Why don't you use that money to go and... Now you are just talking about the school and AstroTurf. Let me come to you.
Okay.
The school and then the AstroTurf.
Yeah.
The time you yourself, somebody had built it and was dashing it to the community.
Yes.
And you were asking why he did not use that to build a school.
Yes. At least give them roofs, at the very least, or build their poles. That's
what I'm coming to that. The person think the people need AstroTurf. He might have gone to the community. What can I do for you? The people say we want AstroTurf. Then you tell them, no, I will go and build a school for you so you go and learn. You put up the school and they will tell you, you go and put your children there.
But the children are already there.
That's what I'm saying. The communities and he had his money. He says, I want to do something for my community. Possibly this area that I grew up. I am a footballer or something. I want the people here to also feel, and so maybe we can have rising stars. People can come from there and one day become professionals and even may come and develop that community. Right. He has done this. And you think he should have built a school. Somebody who's there will also have looked at the people, if it's that area, they defecate at the beach. Why don't you put up where we can use ourselves?
So essentially means mifiasem.
No. I mean, sometimes I used to have that, but after reflecting, discussing, then you understand human life and needs. If you appreciate, I cannot come to you and accuse you. Why are you slim? And somebody comes, you too, why are you fat?
Right.
I mean, I have decided to look like I'm looking. Right. I have decided to wear this here, smoke here, and sit here. That is my choice.
Right. But in government, it can't be your choice, sir. When you're managing, the destiny of a whole country, it can't be your choice. It can't
the person who put up the AstroTurf might have gone to the community and asked them what they want. And then the people say, we want this. Possibly they want to ask the churches, what can we do? They say, can we put up a nice, beautiful edifice that's a cathedral? Who is going to pay? We can do. Okay, then let's start it. Then they are doing. And then you come complaining, why are you going to put up a cathedral? Why don't you go and build a secondary school or university?
Okay. Exactly the point I was about to make. Granted that this individual wants to give AstroTurf, Great, that's an individual. But for my government, this money that is going into the cathedral, couldn't it go to Mamprobi?
Remember, all of us are not
the
socialists. They are Christians, they are Muslims. Muslims put up that big edifice there. I love it. Anytime.
It didn't cost us a quarter of what the cathedral is going to cost us. It didn't cost us, the demolition of our passport office, the homes of our judges.
Do you know who that land who used to owe it from the Kaukudi, 37, that enclave?
No,
do you know?
No.
Kwesi Pratt will tell you. You ask him.
But I do know who used
that
to own
were
the land where
there.
the cathedral.
But there were structures
going
there.
To be.
Some time ago, there were. That is where you say you are. They call them Kwame Nkrumah's children. What do they call themselves? Guide. No, what is that? I've forgotten. No, that is where they were. Brigade. What is it called? Brigade or something. I've read about them. Guide Brigade or something. You ask. That is where they were. And that was where they were grooming and changing and psyching people up about socialism and all that. Something Brigade. But not boys. They were there. I mean, those were the days when your children could go and report to you that my mother or my father doesn't like your government and you'll be arrested and sometimes disappear. Yes. And then somebody came and said, clear everything. And that piece of land, now we have the AMA there, Ayawaso Metro. Right. We have the languages also there. Yeah. We have the mosques there. Yeah. NADMO is also hiding somewhere behind there. It used to be somewhere like you are describing. So let's
an ideological hub.
I say Kwame Nkrumah, not Kwame Nkrumah ideological. No, it was Young Brigade, or what is it? Young Brigade.
I have an idea what you're saying, but the name escapes me too.
Young Brigade.
Right.
That was it.
Right. But sir, you can't compare the two, can you?
You can't compare.
You can't compare the two. You are taking the homes of our judges. We understand that one of these judges was so devastated.
That
you heard the story.
That his property has been demolished.
So devastated. I mean, you've lived here your whole life.
So he was not prepared to go on retirement.
So that you build a national cathedral in its place.
So his problem is instead of his home, instead of a cathedral, he should be living there. Good. Let's proceed.
Okay. So you are telling me that you 100% are convicted that the building of this national cathedral at this time is in order. Do you believe this?
Churches say they want to put up a structure for themselves.
Why is government getting involved?
Government is just facilitating, providing a land for them, like they have been doing.
But the amount of money that has been spent and the structure that's there now, it's...
I said, if you have any problem with the cathedral, blame the churches who are building church buildings. If you have any problem with the cathedral, blame the people who are contributing. And leave government out.
If they the money that has been spent and the structure there now.
If you think that contributing should be sent to orphanages and all that, tell them. But don't come and accuse government that why is he allowing people to contribute to build their own.
The government is funding this.
If you are
the president is
if you are a Christian,
if you are
a Christian and you attend church and the church says they are building a project and they do first offering, second project offering and all that, and you contribute. And then somebody comes to accuse your church or your pastor that there are poor people in the church. Why are you not giving the money to them? Why are you going to build a church, a new church building, a big with fun and all that? We can even stay and clap. That one, even God will see us hustling. It is
but what will the cathedral do for us as Ghanaians? What will this cathedral do for us?
Why are you so passionate about?
I am curious. I'm very curious about the reason that has gone into it. And I'm grateful that today I have you here and I have the opportunity to ask all my questions.
Behind your office is a Roman Catholic church. Find out, go and ask them why they built that on that big land. They built their church there.
But we still have flooding right here.
So have you accused them for building, not checking and controlling the flooding?
That's not my government.
They built the church.
That's not my government.
Which one is not your government?
The
Roman church. It's not your government.
But I don't pay my taxes there.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The building is being constructed through contributions by Christians who
I'll
believe.
I'll drop the
And then you are saying still you want government to take the contributions and use that to do your route.
I will drop the conversation on the National Cathedral. I want us to get to the...
You one good day will come and talk about that. If you are that person, if you want me to...
Yes, I do.
Let you understand...
Yes, please. I'd love that.
People, I will come and do.
Thank you.
There are various people. There are people who don't believe in... You go to certain communities, they don't wear. They walk there naked. It is their tradition, it's their belief.
Right.
You cannot go and attack them and accuse them. There are people who believe in Christianity. They go to church morning, afternoon, evening. They go to church every Sunday. It is their belief. There are people who believe in Judaism, Buddhism. They are all there. Allow people to. And then I don't know why somebody has got his money, he says he's contributing to build a church. You should make that your headache.
It shouldn't be my headache.
It shouldn't be your headache.
Okay. But it is my headache. It should be my headache, sir.
Why? Somebody wants...
I want us to proceed. You've already offered to come back, so we have this conversation. So I'll call you.
It is... I am always available. But what I want people to start thinking and knowing, I'm not saying do fiasm. I'm not saying mind your business. But do what you want to do and do it best.
Right.
And stop criticizing and looking at other people's faults without looking at what you are doing. I mean, people... I don't know how much you bought your dress for. If you tell somebody you paid this amount for this your dress... I
could tell you, you'd be surprised.
You don't have the receipt, so... It's just like somebody accusing the president of reducing the salaries of... slashing the salaries of his appointees without giving them... He wants to see the state... he wants to see their pay slips before he can believe. Yeah. So you can also tell me, but as... whether it is
that is the truth or not, that's another question.
That is the problem we have in Ghana. Instead of believing in ourselves, trusting each other, convincing, being truthful all the time, people always want to suit their parochial, political or selfish or whatever interest. Right. And we are just running like that. But I know a good day will come.
Right. I wanted us to go straight to election, but saying this just brought me to another issue that I'm sure that most Ghanaians hold against the NPP. Today, I just want to go over all the reasons why I think the NPP is unpopular today. Momo.
NPP is very popular.
E-levy.
I say NPP is very popular.
Okay.
It is unpopular to those who don't like NPP.
Then all Ghanaians don't seem to like the NPP right now. The sentiments. So are you reading the sentiments in town?
In town. It's been hyped by people who want to make government look bad. Fortunately or unfortunately, yesterday I heard somebody saying they are going to meet the IMF and the first thing is to make sure they cancel free SHS, and I asked myself, gee, why should people think this evil? That you are in a position, you want government to look bad, or so you are going to tell IMF that when we come, the first thing they should ask us to do is to cancel free SHS. So that you alone, your children can go to Achimota and what do you presec, and then where did you go to? Where did you go?
Infantine Secondary School.
We are in Quarry, so have you heard of Quarry Secondary School? Oh, poor us. But God day.
Where is this there?
Quarry Secondary School. Mboko. The school is not in the map.
Quarry is a very popular place.
But the school. And then when I got back from Accra, from when I got to Accra, and I realized my colleagues who we had all finished writing the same exams were speaking, because over there we were taught English with tree. And this is a cognac, this is and then we come here, and then you see Quarry Secondary School with one facility, one block there, and then you come and you see Achimota, and you see the people, the children there, and you say, so why did government allow us to write the same exams?
Right.
Why should we all write the same English questions? Why should we all write the same? And they have facilities. I did science, and pipette, we had only one. The computer, we didn't have it even. And then they come, they have a full studio, and they see everything, and then you ask us to write the same exams. But I've pondered over those things, and I said, that is life. Whatever you are brought up from, whatever you see, whatever you believe, focus on what you can do, and that will make you successful.
You turned out amazingly. You turned out amazingly.
That's what I'm saying. So there are people like us, like who I was in class today, and I see, I wish if we were all in Achimota school or Presec or your school, some of us could have been presidents and vice presidents and their wives. But
we will start from being a vice chairperson of the NPP. How about that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you believe in the word fair? Fairness?
Yes. I'm socialist, so yeah. Fair. Equity is very important to me. Yes. Yes.
Okay, today, from next month, you pay everybody in this organization the same.
Oh, but that is
salary.
That is not equity.
That is fairness.
No.
We all come to work fairness. at 8. No, we all come to work at 8.
We don't do the same things.
Oh, okay. So then you don't believe in fairness?
I do believe in fairness.
Work is work.
No.
They say everybody should eat 1 egg a day. Everybody should eat, whether you are a doctor or lawyer or teacher, 1 egg a day. That is fairness. But if you come to you say you should go up and then... No. You're telling the whole thing upside down. It is the same concept. I am telling you.
No.
Sometimes I have been like you doing before, and thinking, crossing, watching, listening, reading, and appreciation. This is what I have concluded, that life is all about you. It's not about what somebody is doing. It's not about what government is doing. It's growing up. Who in Ghana, you ask anybody that you are growing up, you go to secondary school, you finish, and you say, government, where is work? And then you are, where? Your father or your mother will share you that. They give you capital to go and trade, or they will give you education. Up to a certain level, the rest is for you to hustle and struggle. In certain cases, most of the successful people in Ghana did not see their parents. I'm telling you. And if we decide to think, and now everybody is government. It's government. Government should help us. They should look forward for us. They should give us education. They should give us. We have moved from parents' responsibility, being responsible for their children, to parents telling their children, when you don't wake up in the morning and you don't eat, blame government. I don't know whether you get what I'm talking about. If you appreciate what I'm talking about. Parents will tell their children, if you go to school and they don't give you food, blame government. It's growing up. Early morning.
Are you talking about the free SHS and all the issues that's happening with the...
I am saying that is now the
school feeding program.
The full school feeding.
Because I had a report 2 days ago that in one of these schools, the children hadn't eaten the whole day, and parents were going for their kids.
They were going for their kids?
Yes. I think I was going home. I think 2 days ago, I was listening to the radio, and the conversation was around the school feeding program, and the fact that I think in one of the schools, they are eating only
once. If the parents take their kids to home, they can feed them.
But it's a government policy.
It's a government policy. So parents tell them, if you don't eat, blame your government.
But we're happily feeding our own children.
So if government,
you said
if assuming without admitting that truly, say in Colombia they are not eating, then you have seen it, you go there, you see, you say you can pay, you can feed your children. Feed them and let them be in the school.
But why should government take on a tax that parents were already doing and were doing?
You are here accusing government of not putting up more schools. You are here accusing government of not rehabilitating schools. And now you are here accusing government of feeding children. Which is the most important one?
Of not feeding children.
You said, why should government take, that was, if I understood you, why should government take up the tax of feeding children?
Yes.
And I'm saying that...
Parents were feeding their children already.
So government wants to help parents. Who can't
and
afford,
now the children are not feeding.
Who couldn't afford, or who can, even if they can, want to relieve some burden of parents.
Right.
Ghanaian parents. And now that you say is money, that
Momo say, Momo, let's talk about the E-levy briefly and then we go to the elections. It's very important to me. E-levy, you know that we are obsessed with NPP for E-levy. Ghanaians.
You are upset with everything that government does.
Yes, we are, sir.
So what has government done that excites you most?
Right now, I would say that the road in front of my house
has been done.
Yes.
Somebody's...
And I've lived there for over... How long have I lived there? For about 6 years.
So until government did the road in front of our house, nothing government had done was important or seen as good. The same way somebody is also complaining bitterly that government has not done his road and want government, hey, this is a Kufbado, and they keep doing it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. If it is not you, but if it is you, I leave that there.
Yeah, but government has a responsibility to me and everybody else. But of course, I'll start from my perspective. Like when I go to the full...
What are government's responsibilities towards you, for you?
I mean, I pay taxes. I'm responsible that way.
So what do you expect government to do for you? Definitely
not to build the National Cathedral. Definitely not that.
I said, what do you expect? I'm not saying what do you expect government not to do.
I expect government to manage.
Manage what?
Manage
what?
This economy well enough to cushion me. I appreciate that the world order is horrible. I appreciate COVID. I appreciate the war. I appreciate everything. But I expect my government to cushion me properly, to manage so well that I don't feel it as hard as I'm feeling it right now.
When they pick up a microphone, go to the street, I know you can do that, and ask people, what do you expect government to do for you? And I'm saying you. Ask people, you.
Personally?
Yes. Then, because of where you are, because of what you've read, because of what you know, that is why you are. I mean, even with that, I was expecting some things from you, but because I'm not your lecturer, I'll leave that for you to later look at.
I have failed the test then.
No, you've not. You've answered the question.
Right.
I mean, any question, I'll leave that there. I'll drop that.
So, but seriously, I mean, His Excellency the Vice President came to us as the man who understands technology and digitization and the need to move us into a cashless society and all of that. And we're fascinated by that. For especially people in a certain class in Ghana and of a certain age, he piqued our interest, and we're all like, oh wow, digitization, globalization, all of the great stuff. We thought we were catching up with the rest of the world. For me, E-levy sort of set us back, to a place where nobody wants to... This cashless society that we are trying to build, I think it set us back. Personally, I don't do Momo anymore.
Why?
I'm not ready to be taxed and re-taxed and
re-taxed. Who are you sending Momo to? Or you were receiving?
And here's the thing. I've never been big on... Until about a year or 2 years ago, I wasn't even a Momo to start with. So I had one communicator make the argument that if you think you can't pay, don't do it. And I said, that's a terrible way of communicating, because it's like, I still remember when we started using cell phones in Ghana. I was in secondary school. The first cell phone that I saw, my dad had come to visit me in secondary school, and he showed me a phone, cell phone.
What type was it?
Must have been Mobitel or something like that, a long time ago.
The first mobile phone I used was I'm looking for something, was as big as a beer bottle. That was the days we called it Mijina Montina
Mekase. But there's a generation, perhaps the crew here, there's a generation that did not even experience that. They just met the phone. For that generation, they can't imagine a world without the phone. I can, because I've lived without it before. I feel the same way about Momo. I can imagine a world where there's no Momo. Because until a year or two ago, I wasn't big on Momo.
Just saying, I just asked a simple question. You said you have stopped using Momo. I'm
just building up to something. So if you tell me that if I don't want it, I should stop, you haven't said it. I can't stop. I can't.
So have you?
Yes, I have.
Why? Okay, let me send you Momo. I'm sending you Momo. You are laughing. I'm sending you Momo.
No, but see, I'm making a point.
What is the point?
The point is that don't you think that you set us back with this E-levy? Don't you think that you were taking us somewhere and you've brought us
Have you heard about a story of people planning to build an aircraft, and then somebody says, hey, then if you take off, we can land in like UK within 6 hours. Then there was somebody standing there, hey, but if you drop, all the passengers will die. Have you heard about that one? You've not heard about that? Oh.
I'm not
some
current.
People, before the plane was built, somebody said we can build something that can take us from Ghana to UK within and fly like a bird. Within 6 hours, you'll be in UK. Hey, that'll be interesting, fascinating. Oh, then there was somebody looking at it. Hey, if he flies and it drops, everybody will be there.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a thing on your mind, right?
You see, progress and development, success and failure, it's all in your mind. If before the creation or invention of aircrafts, people were moving. Before the creation and invention of vehicles, people were moving. Before the invention and creation of even bicycles, people were moving. But they all come with a price. Before mobile phones were created, we were communicating.
Yeah.
Before telephones, I know what's the difference between a telephone and mobile phone? The one will die, we whine.
The landline.
The landlines don't even have cables. The one that had cable that you pick and you pick and then you
Right.
People were communicating before the invention of all those, before the radio, before TV, there were communications. But they all, as they come with certain responsibilities and prices. There are opportunities in these new inventions. Government has identified one. You are using already. Comfortably, I can sit here and send you without changing, working, and the cost is, say, 2 cedis, 5 cedis. People suddenly begin to complain. They feel it was better when you wanted to send 1,100 cedis to your mother or your father. You just have to look for money, give to somebody to take there. They think that was better. They'll reverse there. Instead of paying $1, 1 cedi or 20 cedi. And they are saying that if you send less than 100 cedis a day, you pay nothing. The people who are making the most noise are the people who receive 100 cedis who pay nothing. They receive 10 cedis, 20 cedis from friends and colleagues who pay nothing. And I keep asking, me and me Sunday, I am not crying. You who are receiving and you are going to take it for free, you are saying that government is doing what? I don't get it. If you complain, because probably even you are a lady, I don't know who you send. That's why I tried pushing you to tell me who you send momos to. But
we transact business and we buy things.
Businesses, they are telling you this company can do what they call merchant line. It's free. So people can pay you through. It's just a matter of people understanding. We are growing as a nation.
If I go and sew a dress with a designer, I have to pay her.
The designer must get a merchant number. So a designer must get a merchant number so that he can also be checked and he can pay taxes. And that's what people are running away from. We are building a country. You just talked about digital, and that is able to enable government to track people and to know what everybody is doing and who is paying what and who is not paying. And then people are running away, and you who should even encourage people to do more, are touting that we are running, we are living. You are living, yet you want to see good roads, you want to see water, you want to see electricity, you want to see that school built.
Yes.
How is government going to get that money? Government has to be creative. Either we go and borrow, or we pay taxes, or we sit here and we look for grants. Which one should we go? It is our Ghana. It is our nation. Either we look for a more innovative way of getting more people to pay taxes, more people to pay, or we sit and complain as we have been doing. I keep telling people, there was once a man called President Nkrumah. Do you know why he was removed? Ghana didn't, we sacked him. They brought who came first, a Kotoka. They finished him. He's not managing the team well. Buzia, they removed him. Ghana Yedin. Achampong, they removed him. He's incompetent. He was doing all that things. And Ghana heading.
The golf
removed him. They removed him. Kufu, Rawlings. And all this while, Ghana heading coups happen. And do you believe that one day one person will come and take over and says, Ghana, everybody will be happy. Petrol price is going up in the world. He said, I'll sell to every Ghanaian for 5 cities, 10 cities. Even though it's going up. Do you believe that that will ever happen? We must brace growth and development. Growth and development comes with responsibilities. That is what they call maturity in life when it comes to human beings. As you want to grow, your taste and appetite may change as you grow, as you mature. And same is the country. Those days when they were saying Ghana heading, they were driving from Accra to Kumasi on tarred road. Do you believe that once upon a time, Accra Tamale was on tarred road? Do you believe that? Have you thought about how people were living? That you are coming to Accra from Kumasi, you sit in Arrow Glass, Unuma Glass, do you know that one? We have come far. And we must appreciate. Sometimes I will look at young people and I ask myself, when we had to wake up early morning, go to the farm, fetch water. In dry season, you have to go sometimes, it's 2 a.m., wait till you get 1 bucket, and it takes about 2-3 hours. You carry home, you come home, you bath, sometimes, we've gone through all that. But this generation, I wish one day we'll come and talk about past, and I believe...
No, I want us to one day talk about your journey so far, and we'll do that. We'll make that happen.
Yes, but the way we are making ourselves, I've listened to several people older than me and what they went through and what I went through, and I see what people are going through today and they are crying and complaining, and I ask myself, if you had been born 20 years ago, you would have...
So we can't buy fuel. We can't buy fuel.
Fuel?
Yes. So
you want government to import the fuel, reduce the prices, because it's liberal. I mean, President Mahama did that. People, if you have money, you can just import your fuel, like we import mobile phones and whatever is imported. Your dress, I don't believe this clothes was made in Ghana. If somebody imports and he says he's selling at this price, he bought it at this price, he's added his margins and all that, and he's selling, you say government should come and subsidize. I don't think that is, they have liberalized it. Just as people bring clothes, shoes, whatever, and sell, so is petrol done today. Unless, of course, you say government should use some of the taxes we pay.
But over 100% increments. Over 100% increments.
Do you believe it's government? Akufo-Addo is happy.
100% increments.
Is it Akufo-Addo?
Who else? Who?
Baby, don't talk like that. Don't talk like that. Petrol prices are going up internationally, and you are saying Akufo-Addo is making it, or government of Ghana? You are just even confirming to me that what I saw on TV was not a movie, but it's real, that people have moved into the president's house to sleep on his bed because the president, they feel the president is enjoying too much, so they want to go and enjoy.
Yes.
And I ask you whether you believe that after they go to sleep on the president's bed and swim in his swimming pool, the price of fuel will drop. I just ask you. And you confirm to me that you can never do that. That you want Ghana petrol price, fine, Akufo-Addo, that you can clap. Even that I know you won't clap. You not clap?
I will clap.
Some people will not clap.
I will clap.
You will, you may.
I will.
Even you may. But most people in Ghana will not clap. You will say, oh, why wait, anything. There are some people that no matter what Akufo-Addo does, there are some people, and I know you believe, you know that too. And there are people in Ghana that no matter what Mahama does, let me help. Hey, now I see you say, hey.
It's the truth.
Oh, but the first one was not the truth.
Oh, it's all
the
true.
First one was not the truth.
That's why I said I will clap. But it's true that there are some people too that no matter what, I ex-President Mahama
what we are talking
did,
about.
and he did a lot.
What we are saying now, there are people watching us who are insulting me. You believe that? There are people watching us who will be insulting. What did they mean out here? But they don't. There are people too who will be digesting and would take a cue and know that I don't have to sit and wait for anybody. And let me give you free advice. I mean, people watching. Life is about you. It's not about what government does. Government may create opportunity. If you see, grab it, move. But success in life is about you. What you decide. What you decide to do. And taking a step to do is what makes you.
Right.
But if you sit down and expect, people come to me, can you help us get a job? Oh, where do you want to work? Anywhere. I say, oh, anywhere like where? Anywhere you can get me.
That's desperation.
Then I asked, have you applied to anywhere? I said, no. They say if you apply, sometimes you have to know somebody. I say, have you attempted to? No. So you are sitting home expecting somebody to apply for you. The opportunities are out there. People step out. The opportunities are out there.
Okay.
Don't sit and wait for. Even, you see, this one district, one factory that people are creating, we're talking about the dams. I keep telling people when I go there, the dams will not feed you. What you use the dams to do is what will feed you. And there are people who live around the dam, have the land, are sitting there somewhere complaining. Even the dam that have been created, if you put fish in, at least if you can't feed the fish, the leaves around it, or some what do you call that? Mosquitoes will go and deposit the fish. The fish, one day you will see that the fish has grown. The opportunities are there. But we are always expecting somebody to come and tell us what to do. It is something that doesn't work. Me growing up, I decided not to work for anybody. I decided to work for I saw something. I said one day I'll be a pilot, and then when I lost that opportunity, that was my original idea, and I lost that opportunity. They said my height I couldn't. Well, it was later I learned that it was lies too, but then I changed. Then I'll have to be a rich person. What do I do? Go and teach? Do I have the money? Okay, go to school for him. So I become a teacher, doctor, lawyer. How many years for that? And I started looking at the salaries of teachers. You go to teachers' room, you look at the table and chair. Those days, teachers were not buying this car. Teachers were not even buying bicycles or no motor. The highest the teacher would buy was a bicycle those days. And when you go to the teacher, there were some chairs that were made for teachers. I don't know whether it was per design. The chair with the foam, one phone here, one phone. I don't know if you know that one. And then they put rubber. Inside. Yeah, then they put rubber on it so that it doesn't get dirty. And that was the wealthiest teachers. But today, teachers are owning bicycles. Some have more than houses. And you say we have not grown, we have not come far. Meanwhile, there are some teachers who are also crying.
I think that all of us are crying. All of us.
Are you?
I am.
I can see you smiling. I just saw you smile. See your face. It's the type of
crying inside.
It is the type of, you decide, that's why I said, you decide to cry, you decide to do, it is about you.
Right.
It is all about you.
Right. So let's come to the election. In your category, the category of vice chairperson, there are 10 of you, 10 contenders.
10 people contesting.
Eventually, 3 of you would win.
Yes.
What are your chances?
Well, in our situation, in our case, we have we all filed for. That's when it comes to the national vice chairmanship position. We all filed for to be the national vice chairman of the party, and then when you are given the ballot paper, each delegate will have the opportunity to pick 3 on the same ballot. After they will do the tallying and then see who got the most vote. Right. The person who is declared winner or who got the most vote, or the person who plays first is the first vice. And the person who plays second is the second vice. And the person who plays third is the third vice. The rest, are so they lose.
Patrol Berry.
Minim say I by grace of God and delegates, and the mercy of by the grace of God, the mercy of delegates, I'll be promoted from third to somewhere. I know I only God and delegates know.
Right.
I'm counting and trusting on God.
Right. But how has it been so far as third vice? How has
it's been interesting learning from the people I met and the experience I had from polling station. I was once a polling station chairman. I became a ward, what we now call the coordinator in Jowlu here, and then I became the constituency chairman for here, Ayawaso West Wogon. I was once the constituency chairman. I became the chairman of chairmen in Greater Accra, constituency chairman in Greater Accra. And interestingly, when I became the constituency chairman here, I was 26.
Wow.
Yes, at the 26, I became the constituency chairman here. And you know where Ayawaso West is. Legon, East Legon, Roman Ridge Airport, Belimpe, Rome. You see.
Wow.
And
you've been very loyal to the party.
Yes, yes.
And risen through the ranks.
Yes, and I, for 4 years ago in Koforidua, the party the people made me third vice, which I appreciated. I told them I was going to represent constituencies and serve their interest. I currently am the only constituency officer or constituency chairman at the national office representing and talking the minds of the various levels below the region. As a constituency chairman too, I was a regional executive member, you know. So I understand what goes on at all levels, the thinking, the mindset, the beliefs, the people's, and going forward, I know we were able to do some things, innovative things, and people are seeing it. And going forward, I have a strong idea, if I get there, there's a public platform. We've discussed that with the delegates when we went there.
Right. But what's your vision for the NPP? What's your personal
per our
vision?
constitution, the vice chairman acts in the absence of the national chairman.
Right.
So you may have the best of visions as a vice chairman, unless until.
But you work in tandem with. No, but I'm interested, you know, in knowing what your philosophy.
The core mandate, what I believe in, what I know I'm supposed to do is to make sure we work and win power. That's all.
That's it.
That's it. Whatever we have to do to win power, that is that is
right.
Yes.
Right.
And the rest come.
Right.
When power come, I heard some people say we will share. They will share. How did he put it? He says they will make sure the people eat before Ghanaians eat.
Is that what he said?
Oh, well, you heard what he said. At least you heard what he said.
I heard the video.
And then you cannot quote, but you want me to quote. Tell me what he said. If you are that brave.
Contesting that. Is he not contesting that?
That he did not say that. You saw the video and he says he's not the one speaking. Or what
but
is
things happen in politics.
Sometimes
I don't know.
You allow politicians to lie, and that one hurts me most because sometimes you make people think that all politicians are liars. But me, if no matter what, if you come to me and you are lying,
I think what he said was no contribution, no chop.
You remember that one, but the remaining quotes you are not.
Which one?
So they're coming to chop. We hear. If you can't remember that one, the people who are watching heard that one too. No contribution, no chop. So they are coming to chop.
But it's something we always say in Ghana, isn't it? Say the Ghanaians.
If you don't contribute, you are not coming to chop when they win. I mean, it's not saying they are going to cook food. Or when they were talking, they were not saying they are going to kill cow or goat to go and chop. So contribute. So they were talking about if they win. My sister, they said if we win. And the president was sitting there, they were clapping. Hey, we're going to chop. Hey.
Like the NPP is being accused of chopping right
Who's
now.
chopping?
Chopping
what?
Chopping Achimota Forest.
Achimota Forest. Is it there or not?
I don't understand.
Have you seen any part of the Achimota Forest being developed?
No.
In any case, so then why do you believe of some of these things that come? If you believe everything you see or hear
so
people
it's not
talk,
true.
that there's development going there.
No, that the Achimota Forest has been whaled to, you know.
Do you believe that?
Forever.
Do you
it's
believe
the
that?
forever that kills me.
Do you believe that?
I mean, it went to court, didn't it? And I think sometime this week he's been thrown out.
The person says he's going to investigate. And then they said, which will? That was the special OSP. And I've listened to several court lawyers who even don't belong to the NPP attacking and accusing that he doesn't even know his work. But let's see how it goes.
So it's not true. That will make me very happy.
Which one?
The fact that the
that's
forest
what that's lying there.
Yes. It's not true.
Oh, then I can do away for you. If you can believe that. I'll give you the Kotoka Airport. I'll sign for you. Why are you laughing? I'll give you the Kotoka Airport. It's mine. Yeah, rest my case.
Right. Okay. So, back to the elections, sir. Very interesting, a lot of people have stepped down. Generally, let's talk generally, we come back to you in a minute. The chairperson himself, Mr. Freddie Blay, is no longer contesting. Samia Oku is no longer contesting for organizer. Nana B is not contesting for youth organizer. He's going to the main organizer. I mean, very interesting developments.
F.F. Fanto, who was my second vice to, is also not coming. So currently we have just about 6 of the current executive contesting.
Right, just 6?
Yes.
Right.
Out of the 10. The rest are all appointments.
What should we make of that? Does that say something? Does it say anything?
No. The man says he's not contesting again. What do you do?
But why, though? Why are so many people not contesting again?
Freddie Blay says he's done 2 terms. Let be. Samia Oku says, I have been organizer for long. Let somebody come and take over. F.F. Fanto says, I want to be elder home. Let me rest. I have served all these years as a party leader. Why do we begrudge them? Why should we?
Oh, no, I don't. I'm just asking if it's an indication of anything.
No, that is their choice.
Okay.
I decided to contest for national vice chairmanship position.
Okay.
And on the 3rd occasion, 3rd time, I won, and I'm a 3rd vice chairman. And if I decide not to go again, can you suggest something? If I decide to continue and ask delegates to put me there so I can serve them more, it doesn't tell anything. But the most important thing is how we're going to do, what we're going to do to break the 8, and who can lead us break the 8.
Okay.
But I keep saying the togetherness, the unison, the understanding of politics, with internal politics and playing to the rules is what will help us. Yes, COVID is there. Yes, Ukraine, Russia are fighting. Yes, we are going to IMF. But that does not determine how Ghanaians vote.
So you are very confident?
I believe in God and I believe in the Ghanaian.
Right.
We are in this together and we'll come out together. Okay.
Mr. Charles Bisu also just stepped out from the race.
Yes. It's his choice. Nobody forced him out. He has decided not to contest. I know you've read the letter. So.
Right. Okay. So far,
and
are you happy with the
has also stepped out.
ICO2 has also stepped out?
Yes.
Okay. And so you're saying all of this is not an indication of anything?
That they don't like the party or they don't like the position?
That they don't think that going into the election it might turn out well?
No. If I think my chances of going...
No, not their personal chances, the party's chances in the general election.
Yeah, I'm even worried about the number of people who came in to contest.
You think it's too much?
Well, I was thinking about 2 or 3 more people will come in than would do. But I saw the long list
10.
of people. And I say, oh, anyway. But it's their choice. It's their right. Any member in good standing can contest.
Right. So far, how do you feel about preparation so far? I've been with you for a while now, and your phone hasn't stopped ringing. You know, it's been ringing non-stop.
Unfortunately, I can't pick now because where I pick, if I pick now, I become Madame Akwadonko. You remember what he... You remember hers?
No, but whatever it is must be very funny.
Oh. They were calling and then they were interviewing on radio. I said, oh, you haven't heard one? You haven't heard that one?
No.
Oh, so
I love her, by the way.
You're only watching TV, Pan-Africa TV. So Sometimes I have to
watch the other ones too. But I love her.
Yes, he wants to go and pee, so they should pause the interview so he goes and sees himself and continue.
Yeah, but
so
I
have managed to. Well. I have managed to, by the grace of God, been to almost all the constituencies in Ghana within this short time, and it hasn't been easy. Moving from, I started from Savannah, and then went to Upper West, came to Upper East, came to Northeast, came to Northern Region, proceeded to OT, and then Volta Region, came through Accra, part of Eastern Region, came back to Western Region, Central Region, Western Region, went to the Western North, and then went to Ahafo, then Bono East, came through Ashanti Region again, Eastern, and then finished up in Greater Accra.
Wow.
And it was constituency by constituency. We go, we knock the doors of constituencies officers, and each constituency has 17 members, plus the DCs and MPs. And most often the DCs, we couldn't meet them. I mean, and some of them, but we spoke with most of them. And we are trusting that when they come, as we discussed, and the promises they gave us, we will succeed.
Right.
We will emerge victorious. We are trusting that God will bring them, grant them traveling mercies, so they will all arrive in Accra on tomorrow, Friday, and then the Saturday to have the elections, and when it's declared, we will celebrate together.
Right.
And then the work will start.
Absolutely.
There will not be time for honeymoon for us, for me, because
no, you can't have a honeymoon, sir.
Yes.
We are going to IMF.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. What IMF or no IMF, we have a job to do.
Right.
And we just have to step off, set off, and proceed. We proceed to accomplish the task ahead of us, breaking the 8.
Right.
So we can.
Do you honestly think you will break the 8?
So we can make Ghana great.
Sir, do you think you will break the 8?
Together we'll break it. You will see it. The celebration will be invited.
Okay.
The swearing in, the changing of baton.
Okay.
You'll be there. Okay. Promise you'll be there.
Thank you.
Promise you'll be there.
I will be there.
Promise.
I mean, I will be there. Once the invitation comes, I will be there. I'm only concerned about the NPP winning. That's the only thing.
Oh, you are concerned that we will win, or you are concerned that we will not win, or should we win?
Because the average, and I can't lie to you, sir, the average Ghanaian is not happy. The electorate is not happy. I'm not happy.
Because of the radio, the people you hang out with, the people you talk with, and I keep telling you, let me give you one small piece of advice. Do you know, you have any friend, doctor or lawyer?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
People who go to law school, they are taught by lawyers. Mm-hmm. They read law books and they listen to law or lawyers speak. At the end of their term, they become lawyers. Those who go to medical schools, they also listen to doctors, they read medical books and write medical exams. At the end of the day, they graduate and become medical doctors. Such is life. What you listen to makes you.
Sir, but I buy
the people,
fuel.
I'm telling you.
I buy fuel. The last time.
Are you the only one who buys fuel?
The last time, I think on Tuesday, I was sending someone to go and buy, and I've said this like 3 times on this show because I was so shocked, to go and buy a box of A4 sheets of. We used to buy it at 18 cedis. Then it went to 23 cedis. So I gave the guy.
You think you are the only one who buys?
100 cedis. I said, oh, buy what it will buy, thinking that, oh, perhaps you'll come back with 4. They came back. From 23 cedis the last time I bought it, it's gone to 45 cedis.
Why do you think that particular item?
I don't know. But is that the only one?
Let me tell you what is happening. One some are being fueled by speculations, and it's platforms like that do that. You wait, next week you hear one person or one station or the other saying we are going to increase petrol. Before you realize, then drivers will come, we are also increasing because they also want more profit. And then the driver will increase their fare, and then the people who go to Akomadan to bring the tomato, the driver has increased. So when he also brings the food item, they also increase. So
it's all artificial.
And so if you have increased your transport, you say I should reduce mine. So your driver, you come back with more profit that you have made to come and buy my tomato that I have also increased. And that's what we are doing. So if you increase, I increase. If you increase, so that is what there's called speculation and panic, this panicky thing. But one day we'll get out of it. I'm believing that it will stop very soon.
Amen.
It will stop. It will never continue.
Amen.
Dollar. There are people who sit on radio. Dollar by the end of June, it will go to, and then they will say that if I have cedi, knowing that somebody has said that dollar is going to hit 10 cedis in next month, I'll just go quickly and buy and keep the dollar, hoping that that speculation, and if it doesn't happen, I lose. If it happens, I gain. And so that is all that, what is fueling all this. I mean, if you have cedis and somebody tells you dollar by end of this month will hit 10 cedis, the best thing to do is to go to a forest bureau, buy and keep somewhere. If a thief doesn't come to steal from the house, because dollar, you don't have the dollar account, so you have to find some pillow under and hide. If it doesn't happen to you, you gain. If it drops, you lose. And people are buying the low dollars and keeping them. And that is what is soaring up these prices that we are seeing. But very soon, these speculators will get tired. And we're hoping that they will get tired, or we'll get people. After I finish my elections, I'll come back. We will tell the truth. We will put the facts. We will so we can decipher the fictions from the facts.
Right.
And these speculations that is making everybody uncomfortable will be off. People will know that people are liars. When people see people lie, when the people see that they have been lied to and they keep lying, they will just forget about them, and we all live and less. There will be peace.
Right.
In the land of Ghana.
Absolutely.
You and I.
Absolutely, sir. I like that. I like that. So we should not expect any drama. I mean, so far there hasn't been much. There's been a few reports that I wanted us to get into, but it's okay. There've been accusations that the person of John Boedu and all of these things, that he should step down. People were agitating. Some other stations give extensive reports of people going to these to your head office and agitating and insisting that some people should not be allowed to contest and all of those things. But on the whole, those things have to be expected for any elections, I think. So on the whole, I would say that it's been okay in terms of the drama. So, I mean, I'm an outsider. You are an insider. Do you think that we should expect some drama, or do you think that it's going to be smooth sailing, everything will go smoothly on the 17th of July? We would hear results and, like you're saying, straight to business.
What's the last school you attended?
University of Buckingham.
Did they have SRC like we have here? Did they do elections for student elections? Student politics?
To an extent. I wasn't actively involved in any of
that.
But
it was there?
Yes.
Why were you not active?
I was there to study. I wanted to keep my eyes on the prize. Hurry up, not be distracted. Eat my garlic quite quick.
I am yet to see a modern day elections that just don't have speculators and people spewing out lies, and it's becoming, it's worrying though. It's worrying, but you can never. Some people are challenging the album. I've heard that some people were saying we should not allow TESCOM people to vote, the diaspora to vote, the proxies should be rejected. If you know or trust yourself, you go into these elections without fear. I've not bothered to look at even the album. I've not printed it. I know the constituencies. I know the people who won. And I've gone to meet them. And there is no way you come to Ayawaso West delegates and then you mention the secretary or the chairman, Isa, or the Sawadogo, and then somebody else will come. Sawadogo will just be there, and then you say somebody is going to vote for me or my name has been replaced. It won't happen.
Right.
It won't happen. So why should I bother myself with all this propaganda, that has been these speculations? Go to the people and campaign. If you have been to them and they have accepted you, there's nobody who can remove their names from the album. There's no way.
So
and the system that we put in place, the current system that we set up, from polling station to regional officers who were elected, their data automatically is uploaded to our office. And you can't come from or to come and change it. Yes. Even the international branches, we have their list. They are supposed to come, select, the law is select 12. And they've selected. And somebody says, well, how did they do the selection? I don't agree. They should have brought this person. The law says they should meet and select, and they have met and they have selected. You say they didn't select your person, so you are angry. And even if it's not your person, go to that person and plead, oh, yes, you have been selected, I'm here. I'm assuming, I'm contesting for. Tell the person.
Right.
Then you come and stand on radio and say they should be disqualified. They shouldn't be allowed to vote. Now, if you are a delegate and somebody says don't come and vote, you should be disqualified. And then finally you are allowed to vote. Who do you think you vote for?
No, I won't vote for that person.
You definitely. And they are the people who make those the heaviest noise. You watch. That they have been stolen, they have cheated, they have...
So we should expect some of that. Okay. We will expect some of that. Unfortunately, at times, I have so many things I wanted to converse with you about.
Fortunately for me too, I am happy you are relieving me because...
Your people are calling.
Yes.
But what would be your final words? You're going into this, all important election.
Let me say that there is hope ahead. Ghanaians, fellow Ghanaians, let's keep our acts together. There are challenges ahead. We saw it coming. The president told you about it, that if you die, he cannot wake you up. But if the economy comes to this level, we will get out of it. Here we find ourselves, as he said, you are hearing this because you are not dead. You are alive. The money that was spent to save you and your family, let it go. We will look for it. It was we Ghanaians who contributed and made that fund. We will have to work and get back ourselves on track. We've made the economy growing under 3%. As at the time COVID strike, we had hit 7%. We know how to get back on track. Have faith in your government. Have faith in ourselves. Trust yourself too. Let's squeeze a little. Let's manage ourselves better. Cut our spendings. Reduce unnecessary spendings, and focus. Get something to do, those who are not working, and together we can we can roll back the economy, and everybody will be happy ever after. And to our delegates, people who are traveling, like I said, God mercy, traveling mercy, so you arrive here in Accra Sports Stadium safely. Those who are going to wherever you be lodged, we will see you, and then on the D-Day too, we will receive you and see you on the D-Day. Thank you for receiving us when we came to your constituencies, and we pray that, as you promised, you do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I know that is a very busy time for you. Thank you that you made time to be here, and we wish you all the best. We do. We hope that
this time too, our time If you know the cost of our time.
I know.
Taking about 2 hours
Thank
already.
you. I am grateful. I'm very, very grateful that you made time to be here. So, like I'm saying, wish you all the best. Please go win and come back so we can have, extensive conversations.
I'm always available.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for watching. His name is Michael Omari Wadie, and he is vying for the position of vice chairperson. He's had the nod before. He wants to be retained. He wants to be retained in a higher, position. And like I'm saying, we are wishing you all the best, sir. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
We are counting down to the National Delegates Conference of the ruling New Patriotic Party, who gets to be elected as an executive leading the political party into the 2024 general elections, who leads the party to break the 8 at the chairmanship level. The General Secretary level, the National Organizer, the National Youth Organizer, the Women's Organizer,